Origin just wants to reaction. This is America blew up a whale with 1,000 pounds of TNT. Wow. This was at the fat electrician. Yeah. Meters, deleters. Okay. Okay, first of all, like, whales are already like something that blows up as soon as they are beached or something. I'm guessing this is going to be something that's, there was a whale on the beach causing problems or something. I don't know. Why? Why did American military blow up a whale? Like, really, you couldn't do anything else? Like, only thing I can think of that maybe was like dangerous to even go close to it, because like I said, whales do blow up because of the gases that are trapped inside of them. So maybe it was like deemed dangerous, like you can't put like anything like crane or anything, so they just like stuffed it with dynamites and ran away and exploded. I don't know. Well, this is the most American thing of all time. Blow the sucker up. I can just visualize with like a Ray-Ban aviators and something, right? Sarge, what should we do? Bring me some TNTs. There you go. That's what it. Remember, flag my next and subscribe. That way you can help this channel by helping the algorithm. And I know which videos to react to more. I've done quite a few fat electrician video already. If you haven't seen them, check out the link in the description or in the end of the video end card, I guess. And yeah, that's what it.
Today we're talking about that time that
Whoa. Oh, there you go.
Today we're talking about that time that America blew up a whale. Yeah. And no, this is not going to be one of those times where a dead whale washes up on the shore, gets all bloated, and somebody pokes it with a stick. Nah. Somebody from the government showed up with 1,000 pounds of TNT, stuffed it underneath a dead whale in an effort to either vaporize it and or yeet it back into the ocean.
I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
But first, a word from our sponsor. This
Okay, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen that clip though. This is not the first time seeing that. But why did that feel so funny suddenly? This is the tone of him. This is so good. I have to.
First, a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to
Maybe
you
what?
ocean.
I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
That tone is like feels like such a sarcastic and just like. Oh, this is so good, man. Seriously. So that okay, come on, like they can't possibly think. Oh, let's just put like dynamite there so it could just yeet it back into the ocean. There's no way in hell they thought of that. They tried to destroy it.
But first, a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Zydax Custom Gaming PCs. With a lifetime warranty on all parts and labor and all their manufacturing and tech support being based right here in America, it is a gaming PC that I would recommend. And I'll have them linked in the description below. Our story begins in the state of Oregon in 1913.
By the way, Monster Energy tastes like shit. I don't know why it tastes like... Red Bull tastes like shit. Monster tastes like shit. Why?
At the time, there were no major highways. Because of this, people treated the coastline and the beaches like they were a giant highway, literally driving their cars and horse-drawn carriages up and down it all the time. Because of this, the governor at the time would declare all the coastline in Oregon from California to Washington as a public highway, which also meant that it was public land. This would set in course a series of events that 57 years later would cause America to try to send the biggest animal on Earth, or at least a chunk of it, into outer space. Now, fast forward to November of 1970, a 45-foot, 16,000-pound whale washes up dead on the coast of Oregon.
Look at that.
Obviously, this is a problem, or as the journalist on site that day described it,
a stinking whale of a problem.
yeah, we've got this on tape. So, how do you handle such a problem?
What
Well,
the
if you were in California, you would call the California Coastal Commission. If you were in Florida, you would call the Florida Department of Environmental Protections. But because all the beaches in Oregon to this day are still considered highways, they ended up calling the State Highway Division, which is basically a bunch of construction workers. Now, this is some bureaucratic bullshit if I've ever heard it. There was absolutely a different agency that was more equipped to handle this situation, but it was probably a Friday and they didn't want to have to work late. So they pulled the old, well, technically card and sent in the construction workers. And all those guys heard was, you get to go home as soon as the whale is gone, to which they promptly said, get the dynamite, we're going home early. Which is like the ultimate Uno reverse card because they
Oh, hold up that. It's not the military. Okay. Yeah, I guess makes sense. Like their whole job is to like, make roads and tunnels. So I guess like they would know, they know how to blow up, like tunnels through mountain shit. So they're like, yeah, we know TNT. We can do this.
They turn this losing scenario into the ultimate win-win scenario. Not only are they going to get to go home early, they're also never going to get told to do this dumb shit again, and they get to be the guys that blew up a whale with dynamite. And the best part is they've got an airtight defense, because when you're doing government work, everybody knows that when you don't know what you're doing, you just fall back onto your standard operating procedures. And what do you do when you're building a road and there's an obstruction in the way? Like, I don't know, a mountain. You blow it the fuck up. Mountain, whale, potato, potato, get the fucking dynamite, we're doing this.
Obstruction.
Now, obviously, there's some more common...
Seriously, man, this is one thing I've learned about USA a lot. I don't know if it applies to everywhere, but I learned in USA, like, if a precedent is set, it's gonna get followed. That's how the law works as well. right? Like something new happens in a law, that case itself becomes like a proof. Like we're supposed to follow this because this happened, right? All the judges look back. Like, was there any case like this? Yes, there was. What was the result? This was the result. Like, this is the president now. So same shit happens here basically, right? Like, okay, what we do in the past, like when there's obstruction, we blow it up. So yeah, it's in the book. What you want me to do about it?
Common sense solutions that we could have done. Like, I don't know, maybe cut it into smaller pieces or burn it. The head engineer in charge of the construction workers was asked that very question, to which he responded,
It couldn't be cut up and then buried because nobody wanted to cut it up.
and then of course there's the obvious question, what if this doesn't work? What if there's still a giant chunk of whale left over?
More
To which
dynamite?
he responded,
If there's any large chunks left, we may have to do some other cleanup, possibly set another charge.
see, this guy knows what's up. It was never a question of whether or not blowing it up would work. The only question there was how much TNT was it gonna take? And if you didn't use
I
enough
said that jokingly. Oh my god, I said that jokingly. Like Morty, and that was his answer. Let me guess. If 1,000 pounds doesn't work, how about 2,000 pounds? Maybe 3,000 pounds? How about 10,000 pounds? I would throw a nuke. Would that work?
the first time, double tap. That's accuracy by volume. This is how America was built. Or unbuilt, whatever. Anyways, let's stop beating around the bush and just show this whale getting blown up. Play the clip.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there are the chunks. Oh my god.
All right, Fred, you can take your hands out of your ears.
Bet you didn't think you'd see that today, did you? Okay,
Yeah.
you just saw that and I just saw that, but let's go ahead and hear what the reporter on the ground
is a
had to
real
say
shit.
about it.
With a blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds.
Dude's got bars. That's fucking poetry. I hope he gets a raise. Now, as I'm sure you noticed, there was giant chunks of meat still falling out of the sky like 3 seconds after the explosion. Thankfully, however, nobody was actually struck and severely hurt by one of those. However, I think I speak for all of us when I say how much damage would that actually do?
I mean, look, man, I'm surprised that people are just like, oh, look at, they're gonna blow up the whale, and they're just watching it. Like, what if you get showered with blood and all the gore and shit on top of it? That's insane. I wouldn't stand there. Like, fuck that.
Thankfully, as luck would have it, a car a quarter mile away in a parking lot that was empty was struck by one of these meteorites. And here's a clip of it.
Of one large chunk, the passenger compartment literally smashed.
What the fuck?
Fortunately, no human was hit as badly as the car. However, everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Okay, first of all, how are you going to explain that to your insurance? Nobody's
Okay, screw all of that. That's how dangerous it is. I mean, obviously, whale is big, but I didn't know they would take that level of height. And oh my god. So all those people walking around, they nearly died. Some of the chunks could have dropped on them, and they would be like fucked. Shit like that doesn't happen today. If something like this, if they do today, pretty sure they would like set up a parameter or something like, okay, this is like, it's not safe, everybody go home or some shit like that. This is insane, man.
gonna believe that shit. Secondly, do you know how much fucking force it takes to cave in the roof of a car? Those are reinforced and designed to withstand the rollover of the vehicle. So I think it's safe to say these meat mortars can do damage. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
Probably
big.
the most significant piece of news to ever come out of the state of Oregon. I mean, the only thing that could make this story better is if this was actually the final level of the Oregon Trail video game growing up. Not only that, it is probably the most significant scientific contribution that the trades industry has ever made. Because these guys just figured out that a 16,000 pound whale can in fact be deleted by 1,000 pounds of dynamite. Meaning that we now actually know for sure that it's a 16-to-1 blubber to black powder ratio. This is invaluable information. In conclusion, just so we're all clear on the timeline of significant
Imagine that, right? This was important. This was a scientific thing, right? Now we have the answer. If we have a lot of dynamites, we can remove any obstacle, including whale. And everybody just looking at each other like, who the fuck questioned that? We all knew that. What the fuck? Like, it's dynamite. Yeah, it can cut through a fucking mountain. Yeah, it can blow up a whale. Why the fuck not?
human events. In 1966, America would make one giant leap for mankind when we created the Mark 19, aka a machine gun that shoots fucking grenades. Then, not knowing where to direct our superior scientific endeavors, we just stole the Soviets' goal of putting a man on the moon and did it first to prove a point. That was in 1969. And then we got back to making real scientific contributions to mankind when we figured out how much TNT it took to delete a whale. America. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel.
All are equally important.
Electrician.com. Whale gone. Quack bang out.
Making a machine grenade, going to the moon, blowing up a whale, equally important things, right? And how much you bet? Like, if I listed all three of them, which one of them do you think people would be more interested in? Blowing up a whale somehow. It's our monkey brain, man. Just like, I want to see that shit. It's like South Park episode or something. Alright, well, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time.